By the Texans-Jags. Jags favored by 4.5, over under 42. I actually saw 5 on Bovada. The Jags, that was an inexplicable loss for the Jags last week. I mean, that was one of those games. Ryan Fowler texted me during the game and basically said, stuff happens. And it happened. Like, how they got blown out by the Cowboys, I have no idea. That was it was a mess. They got destroyed. And their defense got torn up.
That's up there with the Vikings beating the Bills, like for this year.
Right.
It's surprising so that's just a surprising game.
So I look at this game and I go, all right, the Texans are playing well. They won 3 in a row. Their defense is coming around a bit. But on the other side, one thing about them last week that I want to see how this plays out. Last week there was some chatter about Deshaun Watson's status because he hurt. Did he crack a rib? Did he crack a rib? I mean, it was a chest injury. It was a cracked rib. There were different reports. Okay. But then he played last week, and he didn't run much. And that was the first thing I noticed, that he didn't – I noticed watching some of the game and checking the box score that Watson didn't run much. And if Watson doesn't run, he's very ordinary, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know how that status changes this week. I look at this one in Jacksonville. Fournette might play, by the way. We're not sure, but he might play. I think we're going to wait another week, because I think they're going to buy next week. I look at this, and after what the Jags did last week, I think they're going to come home and they are going to kick the crap out of the Texans.
I have the Jaguars winning straight up, but I have Houston at 4.5. Like, why did I pick the way you made it sound just now? Yeah, of course, Jacksonville's going to come out and beat him up. I think Blake Bortles is just awful. He's been awful, and what we saw the last few weeks in Jacksonville is if the opponent gets up on the Jags, 10-0, 14-0, 17-0, the Jags have no way of coming back. That offense is terrible. So I think if you're looking at an opponent, if you're looking at film, you say, okay, if you jump on them early, this is a team that has shown no ability to come back. So Deshaun Watson, he was limited a little bit last week in practice. 2 interceptions, 3 fumbles last week. Didn't play well. Sacked 7 times and hit 12 times. This is a guy who can't be hit. It's like you said, it's kind of a weird conundrum because this is a guy who needs to move around, but you don't want to get hit so much. So it's hard to kind of figure out the fine line there. But you're right. Houston has been playing better lately. I think if they jump on the Jaguars, it's going to be tough for the Jaguars to win. We just don't. This is kind of a weird team from Jacksonville where that defense is still really good, but the offense is horrendous. And if you, like I said, if you jump on them early, it's going to be tough for Blake Bortles to bring him back.
All right. We've got so far 62% Jags on Pick Watch. Mike Clay, Jason Muckenfora, John Breach, you, and Ryan Wilson from CBS are on the Texans early. All right.